Welcome to Spotlight Gulf Coast, a weekly showcase of people and events across South Mississippi. Sponsored by the IP Casino Resort and Spa, Mississippi Power Company, Gulf Sales and Supply, and Butch Osterlet Autoplex.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi, thanking you for tuning into this segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WXXV. Each week we come into your living room talking about what's going on all across South Mississippi, and we want to thank our sponsors for this generous opportunity. As you're going to about find out, it's Pinktober, and in October that usually means cancer awareness, and we've got co-founder of Carter's Champion, John Carter, with us. And John, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I think you were on one of our original shows.
I was. It's always good to be here.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come on. And those that may not have seen that first show that we talked about, I guess it's been a few months ago now, we were talking about the event that is coming up. It's now right upon us. And since then, some great things have happened, I think way beyond our expectations, some surprises.
Right. Lots of surprises.
But that's all part of, again, putting on events, and you've done such a bang-up job, and we'll be talking with Liz and Jourdan in just a little bit. But tell us a little bit about where the idea came from for Carter's Champion.
Well, it all started when my aunt passed away from breast cancer. I was very fortunate to spend a lot of time with her towards the end, and it really took a toll on me. Mm-hmm. So I knew that there was something that people could do. Within, I guess it was maybe about a month or so, Liz came to me. She was with the American Cancer Society, and she asked me if I wanted to do part of the Real Men Wear Pink.
Right.
And so, of course, it was a no-brainer for me. I said, absolutely, let's go ahead and run it. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. And we did very well with it. For I guess about 4 or 5 years when I did that, and then decided to go ahead and start doing it on a larger level and go out on our own. And that's when Jourdan and I created Carter's Champions.
I know that when we first saw, the real pink rush, with the NFL changing to pink and wearing pink, and everybody started catching this sort of fever, and with Real Men Wear Pink, you started seeing guys wearing pink, and it became cool to wear pink.
Oh, that's right.
Part of this vision that you had coincided with, I guess, sort of making this sort of a signature event.
Right.
That has sort of taken on its own thing.
It absolutely has. We started off with the one run, and this thing is just growing every single year. We're adding more, or subtracting the ones that didn't quite work out, and we just have to figure out how to make it a little bit better in the future. But we've done real well with them, and we're very, very pleased. Our community has shown more support than I could have ever dreamed of, so we're blessed.
I know that, again, you also have turned this into, you're benefiting the Memorial Hospital Foundation.
Correct.
And so you've chosen a local cause, and that's important to you, I know.
It's very, very important to me because I wanted to see that local impact with every dollar that we raised. And Memorial Hospital Foundation, 100% of the money goes to them, goes to the patients. They don't pay any salaries or anything like that. The hospital actually pays for the foundation's salaries. So every single dollar we give them goes to those patients, and that was a very, very big point that we wanted to stick with.
Right. Now, y'all have grown each year exponentially. It's now getting to where it's starting to take on, and it almost runs itself. Now you're just sort of steering a boat, and where it goes, you'll have some great things happen, some glitches, but you just keep pushing.
That's right.
And you learn from it. Now, last year was my first experience. I was the first one to get there. I told you this story last time. 5 a.m, it's still dark, and you're out there moving barricades. I didn't know it was you at first. I was like, so you must have the fever. I call it the passion, ketchup in the blood, whatever they want to call it.
That's exactly right.
When you put on an event, it becomes your baby.
That's right.
And, so you can't sleep. And then half hour later, I see Jourdan pull up on a motorcycle. I'm not really sure what this is all about. when he takes off the helmet, because y'all are really decked out at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
But as the day goes on, you've got kids, you've got dogs, you've got everything. Everything's pink, and you got police officers in pink. You got, it's indescribable, really.
It's a sight to see, that's for sure. That's
and this year, and this year, and I know we'll talk about this a little bit more. I think I was telling you I was going to come over and see the boat thing, and just see how I was doing. And when I came over the bridge, I was like, "What in the world?" The whole bay was pink.
So that event right there absolutely blew our minds.
Mm-hmm.
When we first started it out, I knew with our team that we had and the committee that was involved and that basically ran the entire thing. They're go-getters, and so I knew that it was going to do well, but I had no idea that it was going to do what it ended up doing.
Oh yeah.
It's
I don't know if we've
incredible.
ever seen anything like that. That was the entire bay, and instead of just a couple boats, what'd you have? It had to be dozens and dozens.
200.
All pink, all decked
Pink
out.
and decked out, people all over the boat, and everybody came to Captain Al's afterwards and hung out all day. We had live band, we had food, drinks. It was incredible.
Now the monies that are generated, like you said, stay local, and I guess people need to understand you don't have to wait for October to give. This
Correct.
is like an ongoing, and you've gotten some corporate sponsors, and you've added almost like packages to where they can come out. And what I love about things like that, you get to meet people multiple times. You're getting to know people, and we all start working together as a community. And I know you started to see that over the last 10 years. This community is coming closer and closer together. Now we know each other, and
That's right.
you can be on a show like this just with a phone call or vice versa, and we've become sort of a partner in a lot of ways in helping build this community.
Absolutely.
That's what I think is so exciting, because we're just scratching the surface.
We're just getting the toe wet. So it's going to be pretty crazy to see it in about 5 to 10 years on where it's at and what we've been able to accomplish. Just in the short time that we've done it so far, we've been able to accomplish so much and take care of so many people, and it's really makes you feel good when you go to sleep at night.
And I think at some point you saw the need to have a director, and so you went out and obviously got the best one out there.
That's exactly right.
Number 1 draft pick.
That's right. She was the number 1 draft pick. Liz was with the American Cancer Society, and whenever I decided to go out on my own, I think the first person we talked to was Liz, and tried and talk her into leaving and coming to us, but it ended up everything ended up working out great, and Liz called us and said that she was going to go ahead and come on over, and it's been amazing ever since.
Yep, we're going to go to a commercial break. We're going to bring her on, and then you'll be back on the next segment. So don't touch that remote. We're talking about Carter's Champions. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're now joined by Executive Director Liz Gaulke. And Liz, you've been on the show several times in, I guess, several official capacities. I've known you a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously with John being, at IP all those years, and then you with the American Cancer Society. Tell us a little bit about that journey, because I know it's similar in a lot of ways and a lot of change.
A lot of change, yep. And thank you for having us on today. We appreciate it. Yeah, I started at the American Cancer Society in 2015, and I was doing the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, and won Relay for Life, and just decided to leave there because I wanted to do, first of all, both of my parents had Alzheimer's, so I had some major caretaking to do there. But it was just time for a different change, and I had always been in large nonprofits. I worked for the American Red Cross for 28 years, and then the Cancer Society, and that's how I met John with the Real Men Wear Pink, and it was like, when he asked if I would do it, I was like, yes, because again, we knew it would be smaller, we knew it would be local, but we knew it was something that we could grow.
Right.
And it has grown, and it's been great. Are they different? Sure, because when you're with a big nonprofit,
Right.
it's just a whole different world than when you can make the decisions and do what you know is best for your community.
Right.
And know that in our case that everything we raise is staying here. And that's the big thing. One of the first things that John and Jourdan and I talked about
Right.
was, we have to do this local.
Mm-hmm.
And contacted the Memorial Hospital Foundation, and that's how it's gone from there. This is our third year working with the foundation.
And each year, I'm sure that you've added some things. And I know this year it's just been an entirely different sort of layout. I mean, when I was talking to you at the Island View, and we were talking outside by the pool, and you're telling me about all the events that were going to happen. And, which we were just talking with John, it's good because it gets your donors to get to know each other. They see each other at each one. And before you know it, they're talking. And that's how you build capacity in anything. And again, it is exciting when you're working for something that's smaller, grassroots, because you get to put your stamp on it.
Exactly.
And if it doesn't work, you get rid of it.
That's right. You don't do it next year.
Some of the national or big organizations, they like stay with it and see if it,
see if
it's
we
not
can
going to
get it
work,
fixed. Let's just dump it and start new with something. And that's how we work this year.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason that we have spread it out throughout the year, and it's not just October, is breast cancer doesn't just happen in October.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets so much focus this month. Some of it is just used to sell stuff.
Right.
But in general, there's just so much about breast cancer in October. And the other 11 months, it's kind of like, what happened? Where did it go? So we wanted to change that, where we can keep people throughout the year remembering, whether they're honoring somebody that's going through it right now, whether they, none of us know if we're going to get cancer or not.
Right.
So whether they are just, wanting to always be there to help out, or definitely in memory of people that we've lost that haven't been able to get through it. So let's do things all year long, and we've had the Boating for Boobies, which was phenomenal.
It was.
That was great, and we just did the Rock the Tatas with Ground Zero, and this week we have a WXXV solid pink drive-through, and we'll be up at the premium outlets in the parking lot with our big arch, and people can drive through and make a donation and get a nice pink t-shirt. But it just knowing that that's going to stay local, and we will give that to the patients, the money to the patients at Memorial through the foundation. And it's people want to know what is that money for. It helps with their treatments, their co-pays, medicines, if they need transportation to get back and forth. It helps with uninsured and underinsured. We can make sure that they get the mammograms that they need for early detection, especially. So there's a lot of different things it can do, but it doesn't just go to, let's buy some new furniture for the cancer center.
Right.
That's a whole different fund. It's for people that need that help, and all they have to do is contact their Memorial doctor, and then the doctor contacts the foundation, and as long as the foundation has the funds, they will do everything they can to help them with it.
I know that, again, I think the biggest benefit is that you have more and more people being aware of cancer and what they can do about it, the preventative part.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be reactionary, we want to be proactive.
Right.
And I've seen that over, the last, I've been in this sort of nonprofit world for 20 years, and the awareness is night and day, and you start getting on local programming, you start listening to the shows, or people talking about it. It's in magazines, it's really everywhere now. And I learn something every day as technology changes.
Sure.
They may have thought, 20 years ago that you don't even get tested till you're 50 or 60. Now it's 40.
Yeah.
They have people, the statistics are, coming a lot more apparent that early detection is obviously the way to go. And y'all have done a fantastic job of that. And it's right here in our backyard. Now, all these events that you're talking about, a lot of work goes into it. It doesn't just show up that day and You got a little logistical planning to do, and I think that I know when we get to this week, you're probably not going to sleep at all that weekend.
No,
we were talking about that. You didn't
it's
sleep
been going
all
on
night
for a while now. Yeah.
You're telling me you hadn't been to bed in a couple of days, and but that's
part of it, and that's the nonprofit part in us. You're so passionate about what you do, and you want to make sure you do it and it gets done, and that the people have a great time. But most importantly, that the money that we raise goes to the people that need it, which is those fighting battling breast cancer. Yeah, but it's great. We all work together as a team. It's a lot of work. We went from used to have just the pink dress run to we had 10 events this year.
Right.
And Scooters for Hooters is next week with Harley Davidson, so that'll be fun. And then the pink dress run on the 22nd.
So we're almost there. We'll have Jourdan and John on the next segment. We're going to talk a little bit more how they work together. I know you got to be pleased with the support that you're getting, and people have stepped up. And
most definitely, the community's been great. And one way I think we can tell that is it used to be nobody knew what Carter's Champions was. They just knew Pink Dress Run. Now people know Carter's Champions. We're like, okay,
you definitely know.
You know, that means a lot to us that people understand what we do.
Okay, well, I appreciate you taking the time to come on.
Thank you, Todd.
All right. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back with John and Jourdan. So don't touch that. Welcome back, everyone. And John, we were talking about, I think on the last segment, about corporate sponsors, and I can't thank y'all enough for, this plaque. Again, anytime I am involved with something, I seem to get a plaque. And I've thought this years ago, I better save these. It's amazing to see because you take pride in that.
Absolutely.
And you encourage others. They come in your office and they see it. Y'all been more than blessed, I know.
Absolutely, and we are very, very happy to be part of that Baco Foundation team too.
Well, y'all certainly are.
We appreciate y'all very much.
Our other guest here, Jourdan. Jourdan, we go back a ways. I've seen you over in Jackson County quite a bit. I hear that you moved over to the island.
Yes.
Over here in Gulfport.
So I'm from Latimer. So you know where Latimer is.
I do.
Latimer, Mississippi, guys. Shout out to Latimer. St. Martin. Last 6 years ago they've been in Gulfport, and I think a big part of it was the impact with Carter Champions and how much the city's done for us.
And y'all are just good friends that got together. How did that?
No, we're at Chandelier, right in downtown Gulfport. We were sharing a few beers together, and it triggered us to get out and raise money, and now we're here.
That's sort of very similar to what we did. We local people meeting local needs, and you certainly have done that because you've made a tremendous impact. And the exciting thing is you're just scratching the surface.
That's right.
And this thing can go any level that your mind can take you.
We'd like to take over the coast. Todd, that's our goal right now. Is when Carter's
Champions. Take over the entire coast.
We want to take over the whole entire coast, especially for the month of October, and we're probably going to expand out. No, it's just we really like you said, we see it because the people that do this with us are friends and family, and we keep growing and growing and growing.
Right.
What the biggest part of what I think that for the future of us is joining up with others to create positive impact.
Right.
That's something that we have talked about in the past as well. That everybody always trying to go for that dollar. Everybody always competing and
work
all
together.
That. We don't. There's no sense in competing when it's all going to be for good.
Right.
So,
I always try to stress that it doesn't matter where you give. We want you to give back in the community.
Absolutely.
And that's going to make a stronger community, which in turn makes these ideas more people come up with them. Y'all just talking about it.
I think a big part of it, and I think that's what you started too with your group of friends, is just giving back. Even if you don't give back for breast cancer, get together with your friends, and at least once a year help the community.
Right.
Yeah. Whether you're doing beach cleanup or anything, and that's how it really started. We really were we got bit by that bug. We've seen the impact we were making on people, and then each year we just grow. I mean, of course there's failures, but when you're doing it with your friends, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
So I'm sure that y'all have some crazy ideas. What's the craziest thing you've thought of that you haven't started or implemented? Or is it top secret?
I mean, no. I mean, I'll tell you, I've talked to John over time, and maybe it happens in the future. I'll definitely want to do some type of beach cleanup. I've just brought that up, but that's something to get out in the community and help. I mean, you got any other ideas you want to share?
No. Nope.
See, I was thinking that you two would probably come up with like a pink Goodyear blimp that goes up and down the coast. And
I think the craziest idea we had so far was us all running around in pink dresses.
That's true. Yeah.
That's almost
that might
become
be the
normal
craziest.
now.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Liz has got a book over there with ideas in it.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's a lot of friends that are involved with this. You know, shout out to Captain Al is the big one with Boating for Boobies. That whole team, Gina, John, that crew, Shelly. I mean,
Randy.
the list goes on. You know, you are guys. I
Stacy.
love y'all.
Yeah.
But they have ideas too, and that's what's cool is we don't really turn down ideas. Once somebody has an idea, we all think about it. We meet together, and if we can pull it off, you see it happen.
Now, do y'all have like an advisory board, or how
we
does
have
that work? Or?
we have a board of roughly around about 30 people that
Okay.
we all work together in like little committees and stuff like that. And every once in a while we'll get the whole board together. But we've got some amazing people on our board, and I'm beyond words whenever all of us get together and we all have those ideas coming out left and right, and it's crazy. I mean, it's amazing to watch.
Now,
Amazing
y'all,
to be a part of.
the event's just coming up in a couple weeks here. What is it, the date? The
October 22nd.
October 22nd.
Registration's at 10, runs at 11.
Okay, and this is all Chandelier, you said?
Chandelier Island.
And which a lot of people, look for Hancock Bank. It's right past.
Ty, you're gonna love this. Last year we had it a little early. This year we moved it to 10's registration, 11's the run. We have tricycle racing. We have a lot of cool. We have our best dress contest, $500 best pink dress.
You had the best dressed dog last year.
We got that this year too.
Yeah.
Pink out your pet.
The most touching thing, obviously, is the survivor stories. When people get up there and that, to see the passion that's in the eyes of those that are survivors as they encourage others, and you look out in the crowd, either family members that have had to go through, their, trials, but maybe those that are, just getting that, they've got a road ahead of them.
You nailed it with that. When you do a lot of events, you don't, and especially with breast cancer, you don't see where they get the mic and have a personal long period of time to talk. With us, if you have a story, you come, grab a mic, you tell your story. Everybody that's there will wait to hear your story, and we want to listen. I mean, there's so many people impacted by this, and that's something that I will say that makes Carter's Champions stand out a little bit is, we give our survivors the floor.
Right. And I think that's very important. And what you're starting to see is more and more people that are, either owners of businesses, well-known people getting up and doing that. It gives that encouragement to the others. And now you start seeing Ricky doing it on his show, or we're doing it on our show. People are starting to talk about it instead of, back in the day, it was almost like a quiet sort of behind the scene thing. And that only is going to lead to more detection, more early detection, prevention. And if somebody wants to get involved and they want to come out, they just come out. Is that generally how this, or do y'all have a pre-registration for the?
So right now you can go to, we have a link tree /CartersChampions.com. And then we also run our pinkdressrun.com. You can go there. And you can just fill out if you want to volunteer. And also Facebook, Carter's Champions, send us a message. And we'd love to have y'all. We need all the help we can get.
That's right.
Appreciate y'all coming on. Appreciate what y'all do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate everybody's support of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi. Until next time, this is Todd Trenchard saying so long, and may God bless.